Greetings, Moonlight Citizens. This is your Moonlight King, the man on the moon, here with the 47th, count it, 47th episode of the Moonlight Kingdom Podcast, covering a variety of topics. On this one, we'll be covering, well, you are either cis or you are trans. That is the topic that will be discovered. Why someone would say that, would have that kind of view on things. We'll also be covering, well, if that's too heavy a topic for you, no worries, man. It lightens up towards the end. We get down and dirty with the gore. The two masters of gore and horror in Jason versus Freddy. Why some may view that it was a dumb movie despite it actually being a masterpiece in the field of horror. Yeah, we get into that and much more in terms of lighter topics and how J.K. Rowling ain't nothing but a turf and a no good thief, apparently. That and more on this episode of Moonlight Kingdom Podcast. Let's get into it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, boom. I wanted to, in regards to that first topic. Now, before I ask, I want to make sure I'm reading this right. It says you are either cis or trans, meaning that someone either identifies with the gender they were assigned at birth or they don't. Is that how you? Is that what I'm?
No, it's not an identification. It has nothing to do with identification. Cis means on the same side of or in alignment of. Trans means not on the same side of or not in alignment of. So when we say cisgender person, their gender identity aligns with their sex assigned at birth. And a transgender person's gender identity does not align with their sex assigned at birth. So like for me, for instance, I am non-binary. There's my gender identity. My sex identity, my sex doesn't align no matter what would be, whether it be male or female, it does not align with a gender. Right? But someone that is born male and knows themselves to be a man, that does align. Thus forth, they are cisgender. Do you understand?
Yeah, I get it. And it's good that you mentioned non-binary. I wanted to ask where non-binary and agender falls into that, because a non-binary person doesn't identify as a man or a woman, and with a gender,
so
it's like...
I've had this argument so many times with transgender people when it comes to this, and I'm not mad at you for bringing it up. I will say that I'm inherently annoyed by this question, because like it's up to that individual who's non-binary as to where they align, whether it be cis or trans, because there are cisgender non-binary individuals and there are transgender non-binary individuals. The only indication how one could be cisgender or non-binary is if their gender identity aligns with the sex assigned at birth, right? For instance, we have cisgender non-binary individuals that align with their sex assigned at birth, but they do not see themselves as a man, woman, or otherwise. They just see themselves as a person. They're still consider themselves cis because they have no inherent reason to change any aspects of themselves other than the fact of what their pronouns are and how they see themselves. But a transgender individual, right, they can do the opposite. They can go ahead and take HRT, get gender reassignment surgery, they can socially transition, so on and so forth, right? It is up to them to determine if they are cis or trans. How they fall on this is up to them.
Agender falls into there as well. I'm asking, given agender typically consider themselves with no identity.
Yeah, I'm agender. Right, I'm agender. I still consider myself transgender due to the fact that my gender identity still, being agender, does not align with the sex assigned at birth. That is what I'm going by. But if other individuals who are agender still consider themselves cis, awesome. I'm not one to say they're incorrect. But I'm going by the literal definition of what transgender is, and I align with that. Thus forth, I am transgender. But I'm not here to tell what another person is and what they aren't. That is for them to determine on their own.
Oh, well, we are who we are. Nothing more can be added about that. Well, that's all I had to say. Y'all have a good one. If I was an ice cream flavor, it would probably be either like that like vanilla that's been dipped in caramel with like little nuts in it. But other than that, goodbye.
Have a good one.
There was a moment after that little, after I said goodbye and they said goodbye, there was like a few seconds after like that ended, I was listening to them on the live stream, and right before they moved on to the next guest, for some unknown reason, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because of how abruptly I ended things. Maybe it's because tone of voice or what the fuck ever. I do not know. But for some reason, they were compelled to just say, I think I upset him. Now, I was not upset. I wasn't. I get upset. I don't get upset all that often. Normally, when I get upset, it's because something big happened or something that, I don't know, something I didn't want to happen occurred or something happened that I did not foresee or some shit like that. I'm not going to get upset over some shit that was said on a TikTok live stream about a subject that I just had questions on. And I was certainly not upset by what happened in this conversation here. So for them to just be like, I think I upset him, it's like, do you think me so, I don't know, what's the word, soft that I can be upset by, I don't know, my question being answered in a way that, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know what it was that I could be perceived as, I think I upset him, but like, I don't know, maybe just the abrupt nature of it all. Like, I don't know, I said good, because normally I would, whenever I end the conversation, say, okay, I'm gonna go now, but have a good day, and then I leave. But I think this time maybe it has to do with the fact that I said, okay, well, goodbye, and then I left. Like, maybe that's what it is. I don't know for sure, and I, likely never will, but oh, I guess that was it. That's just the thing that it did. It did kind of bug me when they said, "I think I upset him." Like, no, you fucking didn't. You fucking did not. You did not upset me. Like, nothing has changed. We're still cool. But just the idea, like, you think you upset me based off the shit that you said when there was nothing upsetting. I don't know. The implication that I'm soft enough to be upset by some shit like this, like, that was not upsetting. That wasn't upsetting in and of itself, but it was just like, hey, that's not true. But I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. It is what it is. But I will say this in relation to the conversation, we are who we are. No point arguing with yourself or anyone else about it. I'm gonna let that be the last word on that.
Hold on. Can indeed, friend. 79% now. 89%. Man on the moon, just for the same reasons always, agent pronouns. 80%.
He, him, 25. Well, actually, bordering on 26 because I'm closing in on a birthday. But otherwise...
Happy early birthday. Wait, I'm older than you?
Yes. Did you not glean that the several times I said 25?
No, actually, I don't remember ever remembering your age. I'm going to be completely honest. My biological brother.
Wow.
I was just going to ask, do you not know your brother's own age? That's messed up. We're at 86%.
Oh, good. What you said earlier about, like, you were talking about, like, dumb horror movies. Logic was right. Jason Goes to Hell is a dumb as fuck horror movie. He left out the dumbest part, but that's neither here nor there. What brought me up here is, how are you going to sit there and say Freddy versus Jason is a bad movie? Are you kidding me? Two horror icons going one-on-one for the first time ever, and you're like, this is stupid? This movie isn't stupid. In the words of Billy from Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, you're stupid. God damn.
I like the Adventures of Billy and Mandy. The fuck are you on about?
This movie is not dumb. It's a versus movie. For heaven's sakes, we don't get those every week. That's a rarity in the field of horror.
Yeah, but it's a versus movie in the dumbest fucking way, where you're voting for either one or the other, and they don't inherently go after anybody. They just go after each other.
They steamroll like dozens of people. There's a whole frat party that gets annihilated.
It just turns into a whole aspect of everybody voting for Jason, because Jason is inherently better than Freddy. Like, it's terrible. It's terrible.
Okay, allow me to interject here. Present day man on the moon here to say, Jason is not better than Freddy. Granted, there is the odd, Friday the 13th movie that is better than a lot of the Nightmare movies, especially after Nightmare 5. Yeah. But he's not better. Granted, he has that awesome moment in Freddy versus Jason where, like, he is on fire walking through that cornfield and he's still, like, even though he's on fire, he stays slashing people. That's a cool thing. But yeah, inherently, Freddy Krueger is a better villain than Jason because he is oh, he's way more scary. He can get you when you're asleep. He gets you when you are at your most vulnerable in a field, in a place that he controls, basically. You know, in the dreamscape, you are far more vulnerable in that space because you can't run. I mean, the only way you can get out of there is if you wake up, and you can't force yourself to wake up. Like, you know, there are moments where people were so scared that they startled themselves awake, or they were woken up in the nick of time, but there was, you know, there was really no way to escape him. The closest thing people managed to do to try to get Freddy in the dreamscape would be to, you know, to drag him into the real world where they could actually do damage to him. But otherwise, yeah, in terms of who's the better horror villain, it would have to be Freddy, because he's a lot scarier, and both in the dream world and in the real world, where Jason is kind of this, like, you know, almost mindless brute, you know, just, you know, in some versions, you know, in the later movies, he can teleport seemingly. It's never confirmed, but he can seemingly teleport like some Michael Myers shit. But like, you know, he you know, he's got his Jason Voorhees got his moments. I'm not a hater. I actually like Friday the 13th. Some movies, and I really like the Michael Bay produced Friday the 13th movies that just wiped out all those sequels and just became a sequel to the first one. That was a really good movie. But Wes Craven's A New Nightmare kind of did that first with Freddy Krueger in regards to like wiping out all the other movies and just doing its own thing. But yeah, that was a meta movie. It was more in line with like Scream, but you know, that's the one. So that's not here nor there. Anyway, back to the conversation.
I mean, I agree.
That is not what is happening.
Start it.
Come again.
I have it downloaded. It's oh, W. Okay, I'll be in it in a second.
Y'all talking about Marvel Rivals. I mean, I like it. I'm actively interested to see how that pans out. I do have a complaint, though. Wolverine is too damn wide.
Too damn what?
He's too damn wide.
Yeah, they used his 2005 era where they made him really, really thick. They just made him like really wide.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see the skins that they do. Anyways, so I think what's gonna happen here is we're gonna end the live abruptly. I'm gonna switch over to the Streamlabs setup, and then we're going to play the game on here.
Alright. Y'all.
We can do a call with one another. Logic, if you figure it out on how to get onto my Discord, I will go ahead and add you to the call as well, Fred.
Well,
the last it wasn't I wasn't able to figure it out. It's that I can't click. Every time I try to do it, it says unavailable. Are you in someone else's Discord by any chance? Like, are you in Maddie's Discord? You are.
They're in my Discord.
Okay. Well, I don't have your Discord.
Why?
Because I left it one day.
Why?
This is before I knew you.
That was just me.
I didn't know you.
There, now you have an invite to my gaming Discord.
Okay. All right, cool.
okay, I'm a peace out. Before I do, wasn't nobody voting for Jason to beat Freddy. That was just a case of he's the lesser of two evils. Because Freddy, if you'll remember, Freddy Krueger is a freaking nightmare demon. You're not safe awake or asleep when he gets powerful enough. And you're right, there was some definite homoeroticism going on in that second Friday. Not Friday, Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah.
It's a cult classic.
Yeah. Funny enough, there was supposed to be a scene where like Freddy Krueger actually stuck one of his blades in dude's mouth, but the actor was like, "Fuck that," so they just ended up not doing it. But yeah, other than that, that was true. They asked the director, like, "Hey, were you trying to put some homoerotic stuff in here?" And for decades, he was like, "No." But finally, like before he passed away, he was like, "Oh yeah, that was 100% the plan. I totally did that on purpose." But otherwise, peace out. And yeah, go watch Alien vs. Predator.
That's a good one too. It's terrible, but it's good.
Yeah, the PG-13 rating really butchered that movie. That should have been rated R, but hey, I'm a peace out now. Have a good day. And yeah, that's it. Bye all.
Yeah, have a good one. Okay, I need to go eat. First, I need to wait for the team to get here. Then I'm going to eat. for the food to get here. Then I'm gonna eat, and yes, they have mac and cheese. And
Can you hear me?
Another interesting end for that one. Oh yeah, I will say, folks, it it is true. Y'all should really rewatch Alien versus Predator. That is a pretty good movie. It was in fact kneecapped by that PG-13 rating. Paul W.S. Anderson, what the fuck were you doing, man? Like I don't know what the hell you were doing with that one. Like, movie should have been R-rated. Aliens. Every Alien movie was R-rated until that point. Every Predator movie until that point was R-rated. This movie should have been R-rated. Making it PG-13 was just, I don't know, a huge misstep, man. Also, setting it in the present day, I don't know what because it's weird because the Aliens movies are set in the future. So I get it. You want the Alien and Predator timelines to sync up so they can both be in the same spot. Just because like the Predator movie, first one's set in the 80s, and the second one's in the 90s. So like, okay, it makes sense that when the Predator pops up next, it would be in the present day. But like, having the but having them, you couldn't have jumped in the future a little bit, like so that because like this movie, okay, Ridley Scott said like, yeah, AVP movies aren't canon. I can get why you do that. It kind of messes with the timeline of it all, because the humans having no in the first Alien movie, we have no idea what a xenomorph is, how it works, any of that. Which, if you included AVP in the timeline, it wouldn't make sense because we've encountered them before. So that would inherently make no sense if we didn't know what they were. Also, Peter Weyland popping up in Alien 3, to try to stop Ripley from flatlining herself and taking the alien queen with her, well, the baby alien queen with her, doesn't make sense because, well, Weyland also shows up in AVP and he doesn't survive that movie. So by this timeline, you'd have to be saying that Alien 3, even though it's got all this future tech and shit, would have to take place before Alien versus Predator. Or I don't know, that's not actually Peter Weyland. That's a replicant. I don't know. It would mess with the timeline so much, so it does make sense that it's not canon, but it's still a good movie to watch. Absolutely check it out. It's a damn sure sight better than Alien Covenant. I'll tell you that much. Shit, better believe that. And that's all I gotta say on that.
Hey, what's up?
Okay, question about that first part of the topic, but before I get into that, I wanted to tell you. Oh, by the way, mentioned J.K. Rowling. That woman stole your idea, but I'll get into that later. The
Stole my idea? What?
well, yeah, you and Demi came up with something way back when, but I'll stay on topic for the time being. The first part of the first topic up there, I just had a question about it because when it says like you're either cis or trans, it falls into like you're either aligned with the gender you assigned at birth or you don't. I mean, we've covered it
No
before.
one's
But,
gender is assigned at birth. You either align with the sex assigned at birth or you don't align with your sex assigned at birth. That's what the term means.
Right. I always get the two confused. So
No, you're fine.
you've covered before that non-binary people and gender fluid folk fall under the trans side of things. So I just wanted to ask, like,
Well, there are cisgender non-binary individuals and there are transgender non-binary individuals. It's for them to determine what they are on their own. There are non-binary individuals that see themselves aligning with their sex assigned at birth, and there are non-binary individuals that don't align with their sex assigned at birth.
okay. And, wanted to ask because in regards to the B all the way to the A and then some, there's like existing within a spectrum on itself. Like to just split it down to one is like you're either cis or either trans. It does summarize it all into a either or type thing, and I just wondered like what brought this on because
It just denotes the experience between an individual who's cisgender and an individual that's transgender, which is your gender identity either aligns with your sex assigned at birth or it doesn't. That's quite literally what it is. It's not a label, it just denotes the differential experiences. It's no different than saying a tall or short woman. It denotes the type of woman they are, right?
Oh,
That's it.
yeah. Just asked because it was a very
I don't know if this is a word, absolutionist view of a thing, like this
No,
is how
it's
it
not at all.
is.
It's just the truth. Cisgender was coined by a cisgender woman in 1994 who was a scientist to denote the differential experiences between a cisgender person and a transgender person. Just so that we have the understanding that there are individuals that are born male where they don't align with their sex assigned at birth, and there are individuals that are born male that do align with their sex assigned at birth, denoting the aspect of cis or trans. That's it.
Right. And people are only known as cis within trans spaces, not
Trans spaces, dating fields, or at doctor's offices or hospitals.
right. And the term like heterosexual is like still valid and still works in those in not
Well, cis doesn't mean heterosexual.
yeah. I get that.
That's one thing that people need to realize, that cis doesn't mean straight. Cis means your gender identity aligns with your sex assigned at birth. There are bisexual cisgender people that are gay cisgender people that are lesbian cisgender people. Like, it's not inherently the aspect of someone being straight.
Right. So in regards to like cis people, it covers like it's a kind of an umbrella term that covers like a vast majority of the LGBT community. Like I say LGBT is like a shorthand because I know
It doesn't
it's,
cover a
you know,
majority of the LGBT, because there are individuals within the LGBT that are transgender. What
Right.
it does is it gives the categorization of individuals' differential experiences, be it their gender identity align or it not aligning.
okay.
That's just it. It's not like putting a label on things. It's just providing the differential in experience.
All right. Well, that kind of covers it all. That's what I wanted to ask. Well, y'all be
No, you're
good
fine.
now. And oh yeah, I was gonna tell you. You asked about like stole your idea. Yeah, that woman. People talk. People. I remember the days people would come on and ask, "So what's up about LGBT people becoming LGBT and making it their whole identity?" I hate to inform people, but like that woman became a TERF and made that her whole identity. Because yes, she did jack your idea. Because a while back, you and Demi were talking about like, wouldn't it be interesting if we came up with like a story where there was a serial flatliner who was trans, but the DNA kept saying it was a dude. So like the FBI and shit were totally perplexed about who to look for and whatnot. Yeah,
Yeah, it was intersex.
she totally jacked that, by the way. She got a book.
How?
She got a book with the same story in it about. I don't know.
Yeah, but I bet you anything it's not factual.
You're
Like,
probably
there's no
right.
actual, like, logic behind it. I bet you anything it's nothing but transphobic the whole entire time.
I wouldn't know. I don't read garbage, but that's probably what it is. But anywho, yeah, I'm a peace out. Y'all have a
suing
happy
her.
new year.
She took my idea.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
took both Demi and I's idea. Demi, we need to collect together and, like, go after her.
Hey, y'all need a witness? I'm right here. Anywho. But y'all have a good new year. And whoa. Did want to correct one thing. Okay, two
What's up?
things. There was one time you was playing Monster Hunter, and I said, like, that's strange. There's a pterodactyl in here, and you were like, there are no pterodactyls in this game, and I'm like, and then it flew by again, and I was like, there it is, right there, and he was like, these are not the pterodactyls you're looking for. There are no pterodactyls in Monster Hunter. You weren't even looking at the screen. How would you know? That was 100% a pterodactyl.
It's not
I don't
called a
care what you say.
pterodactyl. It's not called a pterodactyl. It's called a screecher.
I know what I saw.
I'm telling you, it's called a screecher.
Yeah, call it what you want to say. I know what I saw. Someone got lazy in the animating, just said, I don't know, let's throw a pterodactyl in there. No one will notice.
I mean, the designer did inherently get lazy when it came to the weapon design. They're all the same design.
I rest my case. And second point, there was I don't know. Hey, what made you think you upset me? Like, I remember there was a time where, like, it was the last time we spoke, like literally right after I disconnected.
I'm gonna be honest with you. My memory is very, very bad. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I only recall because, like, literally right after I was like, okay, goodbye, and I hang up. The first thing I hear you say is, I think I upset him. Like, the fuck was that? Like,
I don't know what happened.
I'll get upset about a flat tire or a delayed flight. I won't get upset because, like, I don't know, I had a conversation. It's like, okay.
that was
Yeah,
bad, but
as I said, I don't remember what was talked about. I'm sorry.
that's cool. At least you're open enough to be like, hey, like, hey, sorry about that. I don't recall that, but hey.
Yeah, no, I can definitely like take accountability for something on the aspect that like I did actually upset you, or not upset you, but like I made an indication that there's a possibility that I upset you. Then I do apologize for making that inference. I don't remember doing that, but I do apologize for it for sure.
Well, hey, it's cool. Takes a lot to hurt my feelings, but anywho.
I feel same.
Anyway, Happy New Year, Kiza. Happy New Year, Sterling, and everyone else on the panel. Y'all try to be good as you go into 2025? Yeah. 2025. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, bye,
Have a
y'all.
good one.
I love combos with Man on the Moon. Such a cool team. By the way, just to give him some shit right now, Man on the Moon is my biological brother.
Why? Why? Why you do this to me? That was unnecessary.
Alrighty.
That was upsetting.
Why? Because it's funny.
That was upsetting.
That's why.
That was upsetting. No, that was upsetting.
Wait, really? Does it actually upset you? Because I will never do it again.
No, what the? No, I'm just playing.
This was recorded on New Year's Day. No, wait a minute. I don't know the difference between New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. New Year's Day is the first, right? Okay, so it was New Year's Eve. And yeah, it was literally the last thing I recorded for 2024. And it's pretty fitting, like it was granted my 2024 didn't start talking to Kaiser and them, but it's pretty pleasant that it ended, was ended that way because my 2024 certainly changed for the better after talking to them, helped me figure out that I wasn't okay way back when, and even helped me figure out when I was, like, oh, hey, I'm healed now. Well, not healed. Healed is just not the right word. Like, I still, have some shit to deal with. But I was in this point where I could be like, okay, I'm somewhat stable now. I feel a lot better than before. I'm not sitting on the ground crying because of an issue that I didn't resolve way back when that has reared its ugly head and is messing with me nowadays because, you know, of whatever reason. There's clearly some stuff there, but I'm working on it, and they were very instrumental in helping me see that, damn, I have some stuff I need to work on. So thank you, Kaiser. You were very helpful, and did a lot to do. Oh, you did right by me when it seemed like nobody was. It's like Marv in Sin City. I've stated this before. Even to them, it was like Marv in Sin City with Goldie when he was asked, "Hey, why are you doing all this? Why would you put yourself through all this mess for someone you barely even know?" For one simple reason. Oh, she was nice to me. And that's all it is here. Why do I keep coming on this live stream? Why am I so friendly? Why, even when I'm opposition, do I try to come across respectful as hell? Why do I, speak up for this person when I can in the comment section? Why do I do all this for someone I hardly know? They were nice to me, that's why. And that was that.